Assalamualaikum warahmatullahi wabarakatuh, and a very good morning to all the panels. Today I'm Faizal Azwandy bin NORZAMAN, and I'm a student for the program Master in Facilities Management, UiTM SHAH. And today I will present my dissertation on the research for the topic post-occupational evaluation, or POE, at Majlis Amanah Rakyat Mara Headquarters Building, Kuala Lumpur. As for introduction, we know that all organization success is closely linked to the level of efficiency in the organization system, and it contributes to the efficiency of the workers. So in all buildings, the physical facility provided is an organization are closely related to the management of the facilities and organizations, such as in the office building. And then there's a question, to what extent can the design of the building and physical facility provided by the organization meet the level of satisfaction of the building occupants, or in other words, the employees within an organization? So there is a need to implement the post-occupancy evaluation of the buildings. And as according to Lee et al. 2018, POE is states as the utmost important of building performance evaluations. So POE is generally defined as the process of systematic evaluating to the degree to which occupied building meet the occupants meet. It is the evaluation of the performance of buildings after being used and occupied. As a background of the study, this study was conducted to identify the level of satisfaction and perception of building occupants, namely at the Majlis Amanah Rakyat Headquarters Building, Kuala Lumpur. And the study is expected to help MARA management in making decisions on building designs for existing and future MARA-owned building. Furthermore, with reference to the result of the POE from the study, it can ensure that the functional and technical requirements of the building are always managed and the use of facilities provided is used optimally by all employees. As for research problem, okay, from my readings and from the information that I gathered for this research, I found out that occupants are unable to channel dissatisfactions with the performance of the building, the technicals or the function of the building. So this effect, the situation result in repeated occupant dissatisfaction problems. Based on the previous study by the SHAH et al. 2020, it was found that the government building associated with poor maintenance management and it crucially need occupant feedback to improve the performance of building continuously. So this is proof that there is a need to have the occupant feedback in order to implement the performance of a building continuously. On 31st of December 2013, the Public Work Department of the Jabatan Kerja Raya, or JKR, has issued a post-occupation evaluation, or POE, guidelines for level 1. And the guideline is to serve as a reference for performance effectiveness in facilities management in government buildings by incorporating users' feedback into the POE assessment. So there is a guidelines implemented by the JKR, or the Public Work Department, for the government building. But the issues related to the building, especially for the government building, is still continue until today. The building quality, the design, and the functionality. Therefore, there is a need for the existing POE guidelines to be used widely for all the government building, especially for the statutory body government, such as Majlis Amanah Rakyat. As for research aim and objective and research questions, my first research aim objective is identification of building functional criteria for post-occupancy evaluation, or POE. My second research aim and objective is identification of building technical criteria for post-occupancy evaluation, or POE. And my third and final objectives is assessing building occupant satisfaction level on building functional and technical requirement by using post-occupancy evaluation. POE. And as for my research questions, from the objective, we have to ask how to obtain the objective by asking. The first one is, what are the building functional criteria or factors that need to be considered in assessing occupant satisfaction at the government building? The second one, what are the building technical criteria or factors that need to be considered in assessing occupant satisfaction at government building? And the third one, what are the outcomes obtained by determining occupant satisfaction level by using post-occupancy evaluation, or POE? As for my scope and limitation, okay, this study concentrates for selecting government office that I have chosen for Majlis Amanah Rakyat Mara headquarters within Kuala Lumpur. And the selection of building is based on accessibility of the building, location, problems or issues arises, and reliability of the occupants. And this study focused only on the satisfaction level of the building occupants and in terms of gender, working experience, and total hours spent in the building. And this will constitute different parameter levels of the occupant satisfaction. Next one, significance of research. From this research, it's hoped that it can provide input to MARA in the construction of its own building and premises for the future buildings or future premises, business premises. Second one is to provide guidance to building consultants appointed by MARA when implementing MARA-owned building construction projects for the design team, such as architects and the engineers. The third one is provide guidance to the occupants of MARA-owned buildings in identifying their real needs. And the last one is for the academic reference. As for my research methodology, there are three research methods that I use for this research. The first one is the literature review. So from the research review, I can find the define of the area of study, the concept of the POE, the approaches of EOE, and the scope of POE. By reviewing the precedent research and literature review from the author or for the experts for a POE researcher. And through this functional and technical requirement of building can be obtained to be used as a criteria to prepare a questionnaire. My second methodology is a questionnaire, whereby a selection of appropriate respondents from the selected building, which is MARA Building HQ, will be determined to conduct a detailed questionnaire study, and questionnaire survey then to be distributed in order to determine satisfaction level of occupants in the selected building based on the criteria that I found from the literature review for the functional and technical requirement of the building. And the last one, I'm using the validation interview, which I conduct a semi-structured interview with the person in charge who has the expertise and experience on related matters to validate the feedback from the questionnaire. Then we move on to my research analysis. Okay, my research analysis is commonly to find out the criteria of the performance of the building, which is on the performance of functional and technical performance. As for building functional performance, there are 7 criteria that I have found, which is the common workspace, which is the accessibility of and adequacy of the space of workspace of the building occupants. The second one is other supporting accommodation space, which is I found out the most of area that being used in the building is the meeting rooms, the toilets, the surau or the Muslim praying room, and the car park. The third one is image and aesthetic, which consists of exterior aesthetic appearance of building and interior aesthetic appearance of building. This consists the occupants or the respondent will be asked on the landscape quality, the IED, and the quality of the finishes in the building. The fourth one is comfort, which is indoor air quality, which consists the quality of ventilation, the mechanical ventilation, and natural ventilation. Whereas the temperature and humidity level in room space will cover on quality or temperature and humidity levels in the building. As for health and safety, the respondent will ask on their awareness of building-related illness in the building and any other training that provided by the MARA for building illness training or other issues on the health and safety in the building. As for this, number 6 is serviceability, which consists on the cleanliness of the building, the maintenance works for electrical system, the maintenance work for the mechanical system, and the complaint system or the help desk. And the last one is workspace performance or the strategic review, which consists of productivity, focusing on the performing of the works, focus on the works, how they perform their works. And another one is work process planning, which consists of the respondent will ask on the work manageable in the office and the working environment, which does it allow for working for work process and planning in the office area. So that is for the question for the satisfaction level of occupants on functional requirement. And before that, there are 232 respondents being asked for this questionnaire. And I'm using the Likert scale, which is from of 1 to 5, which is 1 is strongly disagrees and 5 is strongly agrees. And the analysis of the questionnaire by using a mean value or by average in the range question and standard deviation. So another scope to be asked to the occupant is the satisfaction level of occupants on technical requirements, which consists of 4 criteria, which is the physical system, and the occupants or the respondent will ask on the quality of mechanical lightings and the quality of natural lightings. As for noise, the respondent being asked on the noise pollution from outside building and noise from working space, such as from the fans, air conditioning, or other hardware. As for thermal comfort, it consists of question on airflow in the building and the formal attire or during the office hour. Is it comfortable to be wear or not during office hour? As for environmental system, the respondent will be asked on the energy wastage in the building and water wastage in the building. For work adaptability, so the respondent will be asked on the effect if there is change layout on the workspace, the overall satisfaction on the workspace, and the importance of work-life balance in the life of the in the occupants in the building occupants. The last one is operation and maintenance. This question is want to have the feedback on the condition of finishes of the building, such as floor finishes, ceiling finishes, and wall finishes. Another one is we have to know about the condition of the sanitary fittings on the toilets. And the third one is how they handle the report made on the help desk, how they promptly take action on all reports being reported on the help desk system. So from the questionnaire, by using a mean score, so we found out that for functional performance, majority of the respondents giving a satisfaction level, which is a 4, range from 4.25 to 2.93, except for 2 areas which considered as a low satisfaction, which is the car park, given a point of mean score 3.5, and health and safety, which is 2.93. Health and safety is regarding pertaining to building-related illness. So as our overall functional performance, the building occupants are mostly satisfied with the functional performance, except for these two criteria, which is the car park for accommodation of building, which is car park, and the health and safety. So as for technical performance, the criteria is lighting, noise, thermal comfort, environmental system, working adaptability, and operation and maintenance. Majority of the occupants give a very satisfaction level for the technical performance of this building. The mean score, the total mean score range from 3.76 to 4.16, which is the satisfaction level from the feedback from the building occupants. So this is a line chart of a total mean score of functional performance, technical performance of the MARA headquarters building, Kuala Lumpur. And from the feedback obtained from the questionnaire, I have done a semi-structured interview for to validate the feedback from the questionnaire, especially for the points of car park, health and safety is for building and relatedness illness, and for commonly for operation and maintenance. And there are 3 participants that have to validate the question, and there are 4 questions to validate the feedback from the questionnaire. The first question is for the participants, the background of the participant. The first participant is expert on the facilities provided in the building, and I have asked on the issues of the car park, the adequate. There is small range of car parks provided by the building at the building, and the second participant is expert on health and safety, and the third participant is expert on the operation and maintenance, which is the facilities management contractor for the building. As the first question, I'm asking about the comments and agreement on the employee satisfaction level scores. So as overall, the 3 participants agreed with the given scores. As the participant for number 1 agreed that there is a need to have more parking lots in the building, and there are some improvement being done to improve and to solve the problems. As for the participant number 2, he has agreed that with the scores, and he knows that there is a lack of awareness on health and safety in building pertaining to building related illness. And for the third participant, he agreed with the given scores, and he will improve the maintenance, operation and maintenance in the building. As policy set by the top management, the all participant has agreed that the top management has been set the policies on each area of each field of the works. For car park, there has been a rules for 390 parks, and we have to allocate about hundreds of car parks for MARA formal car. And then for participant number 2, there's a guide on safety and health being published by the MARA, but it's not implemented widely, because we have to do a training to the building occupants. But the guidelines of the health and safety for the building have been published by the management of MARA. And for the operation maintenance, the policies have been set up by the top management based on the contract scope and procurement SOP. As the third question, I'm asking about the continuous improvement for each criteria. As for car park, for the first participant, there are 3 improvements have been implemented, which is by using sensor for plate number, car plate number to enter and exit from the building. And the second one, using the debit card, cashless. There's no more cash to pay the car park. And the third one is to obtain the cleanliness of the car park. And the participants number 2 have been answered. There are 4 programs regarding safety and health, which include the building related illness will be conducting in the future, but probably in the next year will be conduct on the programs regarding safety and health. And the third participant have given 3 suggestions on improvement on the continuous improvement for operation and maintenance for the building. As for POE applicability, all the participants highly recommended that POE has to be a tool to be conducting assessment for the performance and functionality of the building. And lastly, for the findings, discussions and conclusion, okay, from the research, the first and second objectives are achieved through the first and second phases of the study, which start from the review of the literature and preparation of the questionnaire. And then from there, I can found that what are the criteria for the functional performance and the technical performance of the building. And the second one, the third objective is achieved through analysis data based on POE conducted among the building occupant at the MARA headquarters building Kuala Lumpur. And a validation interview is also conducted as to validate on some issues and scores pertaining to the functional and technical performance of the building. And from the research, it is found that it can be concluded that a POE should be implemented as a real practice, as it takes into account feedback and suggestions from the building occupants pertaining to functional and technical performance of the building. And last one, based on the research, we have found that POE can be the best tool in design and planning of a building, effective asset management system, establishing the KPI of the building performance, and can be part of the organization's strategic level decision making. And for that, I thank you, and Assalamualaikum warahmatullahi wabarakatuh.